Today I'm going to be making another Wilton recipe. This is their basic yellow cake recipe. So let's get on with the ingredients. 3 cups of cake flour, 1 3/4 cups of sugar, that's just regular granulated sugar, 1 1/4 cups of milk, 2/3 of a cup of butter, and I'm using unsalted butter, 2 eggs, a half a teaspoon of salt, 2 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1 1/2 teaspoons of vanilla. If you are using salted butter, simply omit the salt in this recipe. So those are the ingredients, so let's get started. Okay, so for our first step, I'm going to get my nice butter in here, and this is at room temperature. And all of our sugar, and we're going to cream that together. I'll grab my mixer. So at this point, you just want to get both of these combined with each other. So I'm going to start mixing this up, and I'll be back when it's fully combined. Alright, once that is starting to come together, you may add in your eggs, and what this is going to do is going to, loosen this up, and it's going to really help with the creaming process. So this is always really the first step that you want to do when you're making a cake. So you can see that egg right now has really helped with the creaming. It's really coming together now. And then our second egg, just get that right in there. You can see how nice and yellow this has become. And then I'm going to get all of our salt in there. And our lovely vanilla. Okay. Then I'm going to go get a sieve, and we're going to sift in some of our dry ingredients. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my baking powder, and I'm just going to get it in there with the flour, just like that. You can grab yourself a fork and just quickly mix that in a little bit. We are going to be running this through our sieve. There we go, just like that. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take a little bit of this, just like that, and get it into our bowl. Just like that. Grab our mixture, grab our mixer, and I'm going to start incorporating that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of the milk and just get that in there as well. So we're going to alternate with our dry and our wet. In this case, the wet is the milk. So you get a little bit of that in there. Give it a little stir. Just like that. Stop your mixer. Grab some of the dry again. About half of it maybe. Give it a little shake. Get that right in there. Just like that. Then start your mixer again. Just get this incorporated. And then a little bit more milk. We're going to do one more addition. So we're just adding back and forth, wet and dry, wet and dry. Do you have to necessarily do it this way? No, you don't. You could add in all of the milk and then all of your dry, but because this is a recipe from Wilton, I want to do it the way that they suggest so that it is true to their recipe. Okay, that's good. And what this process is really doing, it's just making sure that we're not getting a lot of lumping and clumping going on. Okay, we'll just get this right in here. Okay, so this is our last addition of our dry. There we go. Grab the mixer and just start getting this all incorporated. Okay, you can see that the mixture is very dry. It's saying, hey, add a little bit more, a little bit more liquid. So I'm going to pour in the rest of our liquid just like that. It's going to help out with the mixing process and bring everything together. I do have my oven set to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. You want to have your oven going before you even start this recipe. So when you know you're going to, start your recipe, get your oven going so that it is nicely preheated by the time you get the batter into your pans and into the oven. You never ever want to put a cake, or anything for that matter, into a cold oven. You always want your oven, you know, to the proper temperature before your cake goes in there. Okay, that's good. Just spin my beaters to get everything off, and there we go. So now I'm gonna get my pans ready, and I'll be back in a second. All right, I have my pans ready to go, and I have one here that is 100% ready. I have a little piece of parchment paper, and what I did was I just simply put my pan on top of some parchment paper. I took a pencil, just grab yourself a pencil and just, you know, do the outline and then cut it out, and then it's ready to go. Now in order to make it stick, I just sprayed a little bit of cooking spray on the bottom, and I'm just going to grab this now and just pop it in there, and now magically that parchment paper is going to stick right to the bottom. So perfect, and now we're ready to fill these up. So I'm going to do about half each. So we're just going to eyeball this and try to get half in each one. So try to eyeball it. If you want to be super accurate, then you could also weigh these. Alright, and then you just want to give them a little shake and kind of visually, you know, see if they're about the same. Doesn't really matter if they're, you know, it doesn't really matter if they're not exactly, but I think I did a pretty good job there. So my oven is set to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to pop these in, I'll bake them off, and then when I come back I'll tell you exactly how long I bake them. Wilton suggests 30 to 35 minutes when you are using an 8-inch round pan like I am using here. Okay, so off to the oven, and I'll see you in a while. Alright, I'm back. My cake's baked for a total of 40 minutes at that 350 degree mark. And what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to take a spatula just to ensure a clean break from our tins here, and just go around like this. Just like that. And I've let these cool for about 10 minutes right now. Okay, and then I'll grab another cooling tray. I'm just going to get it on the top here. That is quite hot. I'm just going to try to flip it over very quickly. Just like that. And then we'll remove that. And there we go. And you can see the parchment paper, how easily that pops out. You see that? There we go. So there's one. I'll just flip this back over. Ooh, that's hot. There we go. And then our next one. I might be able to do this without. Okay, I'll just do this very quickly. Ooh, there we go. And there we go. Perfect. And I'll show you that pan as well. Nice and clean. And then we'll just flip that over. So at this point, these are very warm, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let them completely cool, and then what I'll do is I'll cut into one just to show you what the actual crumb inside looks like. Okay, so I'll let those cool, and I'll be back in a little while. Alright, so I'm back, and my cakes have completely cooled. First thing you're going to want to do is just remove your parchment. There we go. Flip it back over. And I'm just going to take a little slice out of here just to show you what the inside is like. And we'll bring that out. And look at that. And there we have it. I'll just move this over, and then we can take a little look at it, and you can see how nice this cake is inside. This is a really nice cake also if you want to make cake pops. You can break this down, mix in some icing, and away you go. Very good little recipe for cake pops. So there we have it. So I'm just going to cut up another piece for my turntable. Nothing fancy. I'm not going to add any icing or anything to it. I just wanted to show you the actual Wilton recipe. So there we have it. Simple yellow cake. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you wish. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.